All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to start standing, but welcome, those of you who are here live to class and to those of you who will be checking out the recording later. And we're now have completed a full year, I believe, of having virtual classes. So we have captured a majority of those classes, and now we're going to figure out what we can do with them so that they can be helpful to others. A lot of you guys have already been taking advantage and should have these saved away somewhere. But we're going to see if we can utilize some of the work we've done over the past year to help other people get started feeling good in whatever the situation of the world might be, right? I think that's a lot of what we've heard from people is that to be able to get up and to be with a community of people and moving has helped us to continue to feel like we're moving forward and to handle a lot of the challenges and stresses that have come our way. So challenges and stresses don't go away ever. That's part of what living is. It's just simply how do you handle them better and how do you keep yourself moving and flowing even through those challenging times. So what we're going to do today, we have moved into a new season. It is now officially spring. So we have been spending this month allowing our work to just happen, allowing the work to do its own work so that we are maybe working a little less hard. For all of us out there that are overachievers, and we tend to work a little too hard at things sometimes. We push, and then we don't get the flow that we're looking for. We're just working a little less hard. So that's what we're going to start with this morning, is just getting things flowing through our body. So getting out of our own way, and then we'll get to the mat and do our strengthening work. So beginning with our eyes, let's stretch those eyes up and swirl them to the right, down, and around. So every number is a circle. Just go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little quick today. 6, 7, 8, 9. Make sure you reach up. 11 and 12. Go to the left. 1, reach it all around. 3, 4. You might not see things clearly. That's okay. Just swirl those eyes. 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. And if you feel like you got some grit, just sweep off those energetics away from you, all that dust cloud that you might have created. And then we'll move down to the throat area. Bring your throat back to the back of your neck, which opens up the back of our head, and you can feel your spine growing. You can feel the back of your body growing. And in that growth, let's turn our head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Very good. Take that super long, tall spine and tip of your head. You're just tipping your head, not the rest of your body. 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep growing as you're tipping. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Very good. Tap the upper part of your chest. Find the upper set of your ribs. That's what's going to rotate for us today. If you're not sure where it is without touching, then keep your hands there for tactile reasons and rotate from the heart level. Let those lungs move around your heart internally, and then what happens is you see a rotation externally. Good. Let the lungs be the leaders today. Exhale if you need to. Find those lungs. They actually do live in the back and up high in our rib cage, believe it or not. Sometimes we think of our lungs as being lower in our body, but they're kind of higher. Good job. Nice rotations. Finding that upper rib cage. Wonderful. All right. Take your feet slightly wider than your hips. Find your leg bone and swirl those leg bones. So energize your feet down into the floor so that your legs are what's pushing your hips around. Yeah, your legs are the engine to push your hips around, not your back muscles. The back is very relaxed right now. It's still growing as our hips are swirling underneath the torso. Reverse the circles. Good. 3, 4, 5. So anytime you've had any kind of transition or something new happen, you want to come back and really be kind to your body. Bring those feet together and then release your armpits. So just on a personal note, my personal transition this weekend was I no longer am a quote gymnastics mom. I get to be some other kind of mom now. So the gymnastics part is over, which has been, well, honestly, a like 5-decade journey for me, being my own gymnastics mom and then for my daughter. So it's kind of fun to transition and see what appears next, right? Let your heart rise up to the sky, and then let your back heart rise up to the sky, and your front heart and your back heart. So again, we're letting the upper part of our chest, the upper part of our spine, find mobility. It's an area that gets very, very stiff. And if we don't take time to isolate it and make it move properly, then we continue to bend in areas that get torn up because they're overused, okay? So today's the day to come back, check in. Good job, you guys. And one more time. Awesome. And then take your hands from your shoulders and just let your arms drop. You don't have to put extra energy, you just let go. Let go and let your arms fall as they will. Perfect, perfect. Let that go. Just letting that energy begin to flow from our center all the way down to your fingertips. So it'll flush out any negative or congested energy we have in our arms. Stretch your hands to the camera. Let's circle both hands to the right. Both hands go to the right. Be aware of your palm. This is a wrist engine. Your wrist should be the engine for going round and round. Super. And then reverse that. Your wrist is the engine for going round and round. Good. As big as you can make those circles so your forearms begin to feel work. Excellent. Closing and opening, just really getting a big stretch. You're not flicking your fingers, you're closing them in tight and then opening from the palm or growing from the palm in all directions, especially that thumb. If we're starting to have a little arthritis, we'll close in that thumb. We really want to work on opening that web space between your index finger and your thumb. Even if it's not comfortable, make it happen. It'll be more comfortable later. Awesome. All right, feet wide. Let's get ourselves some grounding energy. So really bring yourself, challenge yourself to come a little bit lower than you normally do on your little squats today. Yeah, and energize into the earth today. That's it. Get yourself settled and grounded in there. Your bulbs, you know, the tulips and the irises, they will last longer and be stronger if they send their roots deeper into the earth, right? If the roots don't go very deep, it's very hard to be stable and have enough energy to rise up. And that's really what we want, is to be able to stand tall. So we've got to have this strong base. Anybody feel their thighs working yet? I do. Yes, good job. Hello, legs. We love you. Awesome. Bring those feet together. Hands on your knees and swirl your knees to the right. Again, it's a looseness in the knees, a looseness that we're looking for. And reverse. The looseness in the knees means that our hips and ankles are getting stronger, and that's what we want. We want strength in the right spots, kids. Because when we get down on that mat and start working on our strength, we want to make sure we're working and strengthening the things that will help us the most. Kick out your right foot. If we lay down and start to strengthen our icky spots, then the icky spots just get stronger. All right, you ready? Right foot, pump it up and down. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just noticing our balance at the same time. Circle. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoa. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Reverse. Second foot. Up and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's really hard. 9, 10. I notice when my foot starts to get tired, my hand starts doing it for my foot or trying to help out. Fun. All right, shake everything out, and then let's make our way down to the mat. Good. All right. So a quick check of your butterfly position. Quick check of your butterfly position. So feet together. Super. Super. Wow, that's not a bad starting position, you guys. Good job. All right. So let's just roll our pelvis back, dive down. Feel the heart come through and extend. Curl back, dive down. Just notice how this feels because we're going to come back and check it later. Push through one more time, back and down. And push through. Fantastic. Go ahead and bring your knees together. Hold on to the back of your thighs. Make your spine as tall as possible as you lay yourself down super slowly. Try not to flatten heavily into your lumbar spine. See if we can already lay down with some good work going on here. Nice. All right. Feet on the floor. Find your body, find your tailbone. Let that tailbone get heavy and sink into the earth. You can go around the perimeter, kind of roll around the perimeter of your tailbone to find its edges. Know where the edges of your tailbone triangle are. And then reverse, go around the other way. It might feel different. Notice if you have bumpy spots today, sore spots. Just notice them. And then land right in the middle of that triangle. Put your heavy spot right in the middle of that triangle. Excellent. Beautiful. Once you've stabilized your pelvis, you check on your spine. How many of these lowest ribs, remember how low those ribs go? Are those lowest ribs into the ground? If not, let's exhale them down. Let's exhale those lower ribs into the ground, which does make your lower spine get a little flatter, but we're not doing belly button to the spine and really trying to flatten out. We're trying to stay on the tail and then pull the ribs down. Beautiful. So the tightness in the abs, the working in the abs should be out to the sides. Out to the sides of your waist should be active and on. If it's not, you need to do more ribs yet. Release the booty and do more ribs. Make sure your sit bones are separating from each other. So sometimes we talk about we don't want to clench our butt. Sometimes that's confusing. So if you think about the bones of the sit bones spreading apart, then you'll get what you want muscularly. Here we go. Now the ribs are down. The tailbone is ready. We bring our right leg to tabletop. We stabilize everything and we bring our left leg to tabletop. Super. So as you did that, did any parts come loose? Could you tighten up those ribs a little bit more? Yes, allowing those lower ribs to be slightly heavier than your shoulder blades, right? Slightly heavier than your shoulder blades. From this position, let's release one thigh, single leg dips. Here we go. Right. If you already know you're stable, you can go ahead and alternate legs. Let them pass each other. So rather than waiting for it to get back up, you can just let them go more like a bicycle. That's it. Beautiful. Get that kicked in to your level. Your level. Make sure you're working something. If something's not working yet, then pump it up a little bit. Yeah, we want to build strength. Keep those ribs in. Excellent. Both legs ready. Double legs. So this is your first one of the day. Just see how far those thighs can release from your pelvis. That's it. Good one. So you're super stabilizing the pelvis, which actually happens at the solar plexus level. The ribs holding down are what help you to keep that pelvis more perfect. That's it. Don't let that lower back lift up off the ground there. Thank you. Awesome. Very good. That was round one. Hug your knees in. Circle them around. Stir those hips in opposition. That's it. Beautiful. And then stir them the other direction. So you're just releasing the thighs from the pelvis. Let the thighs let go from the pelvis. That's awesome. Put your feet down. Good. Your palms are on the ground. You can feel the center of your palm on the ground. So you might even flex your fingers up off the ground so that that's all that's touching is that center of your palm, right? Then take your shoulders, shrug them up to your ears, and then shrug your shoulders down away from your ears. You will feel your hands sliding on the floor, up to your ears, down and away. Up to your ears, down and away. Keep doing that as you release your sits bones from one another. Make sure you didn't tighten that up. The lower back is totally relaxed. The belly is totally relaxed. The ribs are working. Good. Press those shoulders down away from your ears. Pick your hands up so they're beside your thighs. Hands up to the sides of your thighs. Bring that chin to your throat or your Adam's apple. And then all you're doing is tilting your head. Don't even think about picking up. Tilt your head. And if you're successful, it'll lift off the floor a little bit. But you're only tilting. Now, did your shoulders accidentally shrug up toward you? Lay back down again. Rest. Hey, that's good. We're getting better at this. Good job. So here we go. Palms down, shoulders shrug up, shoulders shrug down. Hands beside the thighs. Throat to the back of the neck and tip your head. You're really just tipping your head. No shoulders creeping up. There you go. You should feel this strength in your throat. And then lay back down. Whew. You guys can hear my voice changing, right? That's because I'm contracting right around the throat, right around the voice box. And then that allows the back of my neck to lengthen and to get to work the way it's supposed to as well, okay? Takes a lot of the strain off of the sides of the neck. When you get that front and back strong, the sides of the neck can start to release. All right, let's do one more. Shoulders up, shoulders down, pick up your hands. If your shoulders come even a millimeter closer to your ears, it was a no, okay? So there's no lifting back up of those shoulders. Here we go. Chin to throat. Tip that head until the back of your head just barely leaves the floor. Let's shoulder shrug while we're here. Shoulder shrug up, shoulder shrug down. Up, that's it, down. You'll feel it come into your chest. Every time you really let those shoulders shrug down, you'll feel your chest kick in tighter. That's what we're after, the tight chest. Push them further, push them further, push them further. Yes, and then release back down. Yeah. I'm so proud of you guys. All right, next one. Oh, that made my neck so warm and awake. It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting, you guys? So after doing that, bring your right leg to tabletop. Bring the second leg to tabletop. It might feel different after doing the neck work. It might feel a little easier for you in some ways. Are those lower ribs still connected? Single leg dip, go. Good. So if it feels easier to hold, then work the movement a little stronger. That's it. Keep those shoulder blades lighter than the lower ribs. So it might feel like you're even rounding your shoulders forward a little bit so that you can get that heart and solar plexus down. Awesome, ladies. Double leg dips. Here we go. Oh, double legs. It's releasing the legs from the pelvis so the pelvis doesn't even pretend to roll, Miss Lauren. Pull that pelvis back for me a little. Yes, and leave it roll. Yes. So extra roll. I have to, for my body, I have to make my heavy spot of my tailbone way at the top for this exercise in order to really get it to work. That's it. Otherwise, I kind of start letting my pelvis roll. And then I feel like I've worked my lower back a little too much. There you go. Holding the pelvis, releasing the thighs. Awesome. Take your left leg, hug it into your chest, extend the right leg to the ceiling. Very good. So that's that hard to release point, right? Okay. Take the right leg, circle it, cross the center line, take it way to the ground, and then all the way around. Big circles. So even if your pelvis rolls a little bit today, it'll be all right, but we're going to hold the solar plexus. We're going to hold on to that center of our chest. 2 more big circles. Super. Good. Now take that straight leg all the way down to the floor. The goal is to try to feel the back of the thigh reaching to the floor before anything else. Now that's not exactly possible if you have a butt, right? So you put that leg down on the floor and you're just trying to pull the thigh bone further back toward the ground. That's the top of your leg. Good. Excellent. Now flex that right foot. Flex that right foot and reach through the back of your heel so you feel the back of your body long, and extend your left foot to the ceiling. Extend your left foot to the ceiling. So this is kind of like a bonus leg circles today. So you want that left knee to be very straight. Keep it very straight. And let's circle here. Circle the left leg while the right leg is really long. It's okay for your hips to roll a tiny bit, but you're going to hold those ribs quiet. Come on, keep working the ribs. That's it. 2 and 1. And then put that right leg down on the, or left leg on the floor also. Good. Flex your feet, reach through the back of your heels, and see if you can hold that pelvis. Try not to let that pelvis get rolled forward. It's tough work. It's a lot of work to keep that heaviness more toward the top of your tailbone. Palms on the ground. Slide your shoulders up. Shrug your shoulders up, slide them down. Pick your hands up above your thighs. Work the throat to the back of the neck and do the head tilt. And this time, roll on up so your shoulder blades come off the ground. Roll heavily into your solar plexus and your heart so that you get a C curve out of it. Come on, move the chest. Keep moving the chest. It'll fold, I promise. Come on, foldy, foldy, and lay back down. Relax everything. Good. That's it. The front of my hips are just screaming. They're saying, hey, you must have spent a lot of time sitting in a car and on bleachers this weekend, and that would be true. So you can kind of read what you did over the weekend by what your body says on Monday morning, right, guys? All right, flex your feet again. Hands down, palms down, shoulder shrug up, shoulder shrug down, pick up your hands above your thighs, throat, tilt, and roll the heavy spot down the middle of your spine. Good. Pull the top part of that spine up off the floor. Keep going. Go touch those toes. If you think you might have shrugged your shoulders, unshrug them more. That's it. Good. How high can you roll up today? Come on, higher, higher, higher. And release yourself back down. Yes. All right. So we're investigating that. Good job. Let's do the other leg circles. So hug your right leg into your chest and extend your left leg to the ceiling. Good work, you guys. Take that left leg and circle it. Cross. Take it way down toward the floor and then out and around. Yes. Down and out and around. And it's okay for your pelvis to move a little, but really hold those lower ribs down strong for me, kids. That's it. 2 more big circles. You guys are rock stars. Okay. And then take that straight leg down to the floor. So you're working on releasing the back of your thigh to the ground. Release the back of that thigh toward the floor. Yes, yes. So not at the knee level. We're not focusing there. We're focusing up where the thigh meets the body and holding that. Flex that left foot, reaching through the back of your heel. Extend your right leg to the ceiling. Good. So that right leg is getting all the way straight and those feet are stretching through the tips of the toes. And we circle that right leg now. Cross down, around, up. It's a double leg circle bonus day today. 3, 4. Good. 5. Is that left leg staying attached to the floor? Is your pelvis holding still? Good. Now take that straight leg all the way down and flex both feet. Check in with your pelvis. Make sure you didn't lower your legs and get a giant arch in your back. You're controlling it both from the pelvis and from the ribs. This time, point both feet. Point both feet. Ready? Hands on the floor. Shoulder shrug up. Shoulder shrug down, pick up your hands. Tip your head, roll up into that C curve. Loosen up the armpits so that your arms are free to shrug down even further. And then we're gonna go from the back side of your body, feel your right leg get elevated. Feel like something is lifting your right leg from behind. And then put it down and then do the left leg. Elevate that left leg from the back. Keep looking at it. Come on, curl up and look at it. You can do it. And then release back down again. Good. Good. So some of you need to, some of you I don't allow to roll all the way up onto your solar plexus, especially if you're new. If you are rolling up and your belly is getting all squished up in a ball, that means you came up too high. But some of you need to learn now how to fold, how to pull from those upper abdominals to roll up a little bit higher. Okay, so it's the lower part of your ribs. So let's everybody kind of figure out what's your space there. Let's do it again. If your feet start to cramp, it's a great thing. That means that you're kicking in your lower abdominals and your core system. So foot cramps on this exercise would be welcome. All right, here we go. Point those feet. Good. Check your pelvis, check your ribs. Roll shoulder shrug up. Shoulder shrug down and further as you pick up your hands and throat to the back of the neck and then roll up. See who can fold and make your solar plexus more heavy. That's it. That's it. Come on, Sweta, fold at your lower ribs, darling. That's it. Yes, pick those hands up higher. And here we go. Right leg is getting lifted from behind. Yes. And then we'll put it down and the left leg gets lifted from behind. Beautiful. Do it one more time or try to do one and then see if the other one will come up and you can hold your position. That's really, 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 really hard for me. And then release and lay yourselves down. Wow. Good. I'm so proud of you guys. Yes. So if you feel warmth around the back of your neck, oh, then just say thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's bend our knees, feet flat on the floor. Super. All right, we're bridging. So plant those feet on the ground. Feel that stability. Feel those muscles that you just used to make that C curve happen and turn them on. Almost like you're doing a C curve right now. And then plant those palms as you plant your feet and let's let our hips rise. Let's push those tailbones up in the air. The pubic bone, the lower part of the pelvis should be the highest thing, not the belly button. Our thighs should be squeezing toward each other while the sits bones let go of each other. Let go of those sits bones and then release back down again. Super. That sits bone thing is a challenge, isn't it? But that's it. Once you figure that out, that's what shifts you from overworking the tushy to getting the hamstrings active. And that's a big deal when it comes to comfort in our back, okay? So plant your feet. Let your thighs do the work of pushing while your sits bones let go of each other. That's it. Now you might not come as high at first, right? But you're gonna be in a better opening of the front of your hip. Just visualize the leg bone detaching from the pelvis. So some of us have to really try to curl that pelvis back, don't we? And then bring yourselves back down. Yes. So curling the pelvis without squeezing the sits bones is a massive challenge. Let's do it again. Plant everything and float up. Feel the pubic bone curling upward. Yes. As you release those sits bones, squeeze your inner thighs and plant those feet more. Right. The better you push through your feet, the better you're going to get this exercise done. Awesome. And then release back down. Right. We're going to do one more. So again, what you're going to find is this subtle shift from a butt clench. Everybody just lay there and just squeeze your butt cheeks toward each other. So that's closing your sits bones in and it tucks your tail, right? So that's one way to tuck your tail, not the way that we want to be working on right now. Release your tail And what you'll feel is a squeeze just slightly in front of your butt cheeks. That's where our pelvic floor begins. It's a rear pelvic floor that we're trying to get a hold of here, gang. So if you could make that happen and then plant your feet and just try not to slip into butt clench, you'll just get a strengthening of the rear pelvic floor, which is, yes, that can be like life transforming. And bring it back down. Right. Good. And it really gives us a chance to release our hips, for our hips to release. Let's do one more because that was great. So if you need to feel the contrast again, you squeeze the butt cheeks, feeling the sit bones come together, let go of that, and then try to squeeze more just in front of that. You'll feel the back of your thighs come together, plant your feet and go up. That's it. That's it, you guys. Super subtle. You can work on this again for a lifetime and it will still be curious and challenging. Good. And bring it down because that's just the way the human body works. Good. Yay. From here, right leg to tabletop. Left leg to tabletop. Super. How's the body this time? Is it even easier? Single leg dips. You might find with that rear pelvic floor active, it's easier to move your legs without getting the pelvis involved. Right. And then double leg dips. Check them out. Is it easier when you are? Yes. Beautiful. Woo! I know we're making some progress today. Leave your legs in tabletop. Shoulder shrug up, shoulder shrug down. Pick up your hands. Throat, tip your head and roll to your highest C curve you can make here. Stay on your tailbone, stay with released booties, but roll your heaviness onto that solar plexus. Good. And we're going to do single leg extensions. Reach one leg far, reach the other leg far. Just really work on holding those spots. You've got it. It's the upper abs and the lower abs, and they're lengthening, and they're lengthening, and they're lengthening. And we got one more. Holy Toledo, lay yourself down, stir those hips. Nice work, everybody. All right. Ta-da. All right, let's roll onto our side next. So roll onto your side. In this position, your arm can be straight with your head resting, or you can bend and put your pinky finger right above your ear. So either of those positions, but it requires you to stay strong in your chest, okay? One of the reasons why people are so uncomfortable when they're sleeping is because you turn into a sack of potatoes and you totally collapse all of your shoulder stuff, all right? So make sure when you're sleeping that you have a pillow that will support your head while the shoulder is uncollapsed, okay? And while we're working, you muscularly hold that. You hold that shoulder so it doesn't become a neck game, okay? My body prefers to have a straight arm, but I've worked to get comfortable there. So flex your feet. Your hand is in front of your belly button or in front of your solar plexus, and that lifts. You want to lift your elbow up to create space, not roll your shoulder forward, just lift the elbow up. And that means we now are working again in our solar plexus. It's coming away from our fingers. Lift your top leg so it is level with your hip. Level with your hip. And lengthen through the backs of your heels. Beautiful. From here, you imagine there's a weight on the side of your leg and you push that weight up and then you bring it down. You push that weight up and you bring it down. If you accidentally rotate your toes to the ceiling, then that weight drops off the back and that's not the game we're playing. We're playing straight abduction right now. If you happen to have ankle weights at home and you're feeling pretty good about this exercise, you could put on an ankle weight and try it. The work should be happening in the hip and just behind it. In the hip and just behind it. If not, that means your feet are too far in front of you. They need to open up these hips again. Think about the pubic bone pressing forward and the thigh bone going backward. And then let's try about 5 more of that. Pubic bone forward, thigh bone backward, and see if you can, ouch, lift that leg straight to the side. That's challenging. Yep, if your neck is trying to help you, that means you got to pull your solar plexus more. But there is a connection to the neck on that side. Good, bend your knees. Tuck your knees up in front of you. Flex your feet and turn them out. Beautiful. Now let's put our hand right here where our hip joint is, not the top of your pelvis, but down where your hip joint is. And let's feel that thigh bone moving as you lift it up and down. Good. Your elbow should be pointed toward the ceiling. Yes, those ribs drawn back so that you can relax your neck. Force yourself to relax that neck. That's it. It's really only helping because it's sometimes hard to get a signal down to the side of our hip here. So your neck's like, I'll help, I'll help. Not really very comfortable, is it? 2 more. Ah! 2 more. Ah! Good. And now lower your knees a little bit. Take that top leg and show the foot to the camera. You may put your fingers back on the floor now, but swing your leg front to the camera and then point it to the back. Front to the camera and then point it to the back. Very good. Front to the camera and point it back. Bravo. Feel the space in your hip joint, allowing that to happen. Right. Feel that space. You guys are rock stars. Awesome. And then come up onto your elbow. Come up onto your forearm on that side. Beautiful. So again, remember, we talk about front and back a lot. We don't talk about side to side a lot. So we got to get one piece down before the others. Lifting up on the side of your rib cage, putting the power down here will release the tension up here with your neck and shoulder. If you are not holding from below, this part will get really crimped. Now, it also has to get stronger. So don't be scared every time you feel the side of your neck working. It's not all bad, all right? It's part of, I'm getting this part better, so now the proper neck muscles are gonna join us in the game, all right? But just take breaks as you need to and then come back to it. Give it little short spurts. All right, so from this position, we're gonna grow up on our underneath side, stay strong, push down on your knee and lift your hips up and forward. So we're opening our hips into a straight line. That means pubic bone is pressing forward. And that top leg, if you're strong, can come off the ground. And then we'll sit down and you can sag if you want to. And we'll go again. Grow up these ribs, push on your knee and lift the top leg. If your 6 o'clock came forward, are you clenching your butt? That should be the answer, no. Sits bones are still nicely separated, and then come down and back, right? Good. And again, once you get that booty clench gone, you'll feel the work in the side of your hip. Ready? One more time. Grow, press, and extend. Beautiful. Yes, I love how you're working through this. Very, very nice. Good. And then release it down, and we'll sit up and roll over to the other side. Nice work, you guys. Yeah, whole new ball game up there at the top, isn't it? By the way, the ability of our shoulders to work mirrors the ability of our hips to work. So by default, if we have anything going on tight in our hips, there's going to be a corresponding something going on in the shoulders. And it's you can connect them crosswise. So if your right hip bothers you, the left shoulder will generally have a compensation and vice versa. So, all right, so the arm is either straight or you have your pinky finger right above your ear, whatever works. We're flexing our feet. Top leg is level with your hip. And then your pubic bone presses through. Your pubic bone presses through without clenching our sits bones. There's a weight on top of your thigh, and up it goes and down. Good, up. You could put your hand in front of your belly button to remind you to pull that solar plexus back. There you go. If you're feeling work in the front of your leg, that means it's too far forward. You need to open your hip a little more so we get into the side of the leg and potentially the side of your tushy. Good. The longer you reach through your heel, the better. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. Woohoo. And 1 more. Good job. And there goes my neck trying to help me. Tuck your knees up and in. Very good. The hand goes where the hip is, feet flex and turn out. And we make that thigh bone rotate all by its little self. Drop your shoulder down in its shrug and lift your elbow to the ceiling. Good. Yes. Sometimes just opening up the neck will also give us this like, what? Your neck's like, I've never been in that long position before. What am I supposed to do? Beautiful, you guys. Excellent. Oh, beautiful. And from here, we slide our knees down a little. You can put your hand back down, show your foot to the camera, and then point it behind you. Flex front, 2 and back, 2 and front, 2 and back. Good. And hold that solar plexus. Come on, you guys. Don't just let your pelvis go all over the place. This is creating space in the hip joint, right? Let whatever's holding on, let go. Yes. 2 more. 1 more. Awesome. And then relax. Woo! Come up onto your elbow. Last one in the series. You guys are rocking this out. So what you'll want to look for is if you get through these exercises, now let's go ahead and finish this one. Lift up those ribs. Feel strong. The shoulder is shrugged downward. Push on your knees. And your 6 o'clock comes forward. Good. The sits bones are separated and maybe that top leg lifts depending on how open you've got that hip. And then sit back and down. Good. Very, very good. Here we go again. From the chest, we're powering this up. Very, very good for those pec muscles that might have had some trauma. There you go. Yes, 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 yes. Excellent, you guys. And free yourself down. Good. Make sure I see that 6 o'clock. Come all the way forward. Go. Pubic bone forward so there's no angle left in that bottom hip. That's it. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Yes, use that left butt cheek. The side of that left butt cheek will help you. And release yourself down. And then let's go ahead and sit up. Bravo. So we'll just come back and recheck our butterflies. Woo! So what you want to be aware of, here's how you know, was that something I should be doing or shouldn't be doing? If your neck muscles get tired and you're aware of them for the next 3 days, and then on the 4th day or before it goes away, that's awesome. That's called strengthening. If they feel really bad and tight for more than 3 days, then it was a little too much strain. You just back off a little bit to build up the strength, okay? So that's how we know how we're doing with our strengthening work. We do want to feel muscles if we have to strengthen them, right? We can't avoid that. Look at your butterflies, kids. They're so good. Let's curl back, dive down, and arch up. Good. Curl back, dive down, arch up. Compare this to when we did it at the beginning of class. Especially the archy part. The archy part is the important one. Beautiful. All right. So let's finish. Let's go to our bellies. Down to your bellies. Woo. Opening up the front of our body for springtime. All right. Stack your palms, forehead down. Good. So we're pressing the pubic bone into the floor without squeezing our sits bones together. Press the pubic bone, curl it into the floor without squeezing your sits bones together. Good. Let your heart fall down. Let your armpits fall down without shrugging your shoulders up to your ears. So if you need to know the difference, you shoulder shrug up and down and keep the down. You might have to work to hold those shoulders down. Good. Once you've stabilized, see if you can lift your belly button away from the floor. Pick up your abdominal wall from the floor. And that should make your heart a little heavier, should make your pubic bone a little heavier, your top of thighs a little heavier. And this is where we're working from. Let's go. Right leg. The thigh bone is lifting. The top of the thigh bone, where it's near your butt. And put it down. The left leg. Top of the thigh bone tries to lift up away from the pelvis. And alternate. Right leg. Left leg. Visualize the front of the hip just simply having more space. You keep that belly button and that abdomen picked up. You move those legs without dumping your belly button, without shrugging your shoulders. So many things to think about. Right leg, left leg. 2 more. Right leg, left leg. 1 more. Right leg, left leg. Straighten your arms, but keep your head floating up off the floor. Be careful. Did your shoulders shrug up? Everything should have stayed the same in our torso. We're going to float our right upper arm bone and then your left upper arm bone. So just the arms. Right one, no shoulder shrugs. You're trying to keep your armpit close to the ground and lift the bones of your arm instead. Keep alternating right and left. I hope your heart's trying to be heavy and your belly button is lifted. Oh my gosh, this is a lot of work. Right arm, who knew? And left arm. Joseph Pilates, that's who knew. By golly, gotta give that guy some serious credit. Here we go. 2 arms and 2 legs float at the same time. Uh-oh, that was a lot. And then if you did it well and you didn't shrug or anything and your belly button's still lifted, alternately lift your right arm, left leg, and then switch. So it's flutter kicking in opposition while the torso stays quiet. Go faster. Go faster. Keep those shoulders unshrugged. Come on, you guys. Those hamstrings should be screaming because those butt cheeks are loose or our sits bones are separated. Okay, that's enough. Can't do anymore. How'd you do? I've had it to, it's a pretty hard one, isn't it? Yeah. I can't look at you anymore because that's a terrible thing to do for your neck is try to hold that position and look. So just got to keep talking as much as we can. And you guys just have to keep at your speed. Okay, here we go. Let's stretch it out a little bit. Put your hands by your rib cage. Release your sits bones. Shrug your shoulders away from your ears the best you can. Good. And let your crown lead you. Let your crown start lifting you up. I'm not pushing with the hands yet. We're just using our back muscles, our upper back muscles, and then release back down. Okay? I'm going to watch you here in a second. Keep your 6 o'clock pressed into the ground and the belly button lifted. This is a chest lift that leads from the crown and squeezes those upper back muscles. And then release back down. Good. I'm going to sit up and watch you do a couple more just to make sure. Right. If your belly button drops toward the floor, you can be certain you're using the wrong muscles. So you've got to hold that belly button up and see what can you bend in your upper back. Make your head come up. Come on, pick that head up. You can do it. It won't hurt anything. Good. And roll your shoulders back so they're kind of squeezing your back heart. Yes. And then release back down. Awesome. Ooh, I see changes happening. One more time. The head is the leader. The throat is helping you. That's beautiful. Ah! Oh my gosh. Is your belly button still off the ground? That would be awesome. And release all the way back down. I saw improvement out there, you guys. Way to go. So we're going to add the arm press. You're pressing down the pinky finger side of your hand once you get to your highest spot, but you don't get to round your shoulder, your chest in again. You got to stay in that open extension. All right, let's do it. The head lifts, you get that back squeeze, and then you lift that belly button as you add the push. No belly button dumps. It will stretch in the front of your hips because that pubic bone is still trying to get to the ground. Good. And then you allow yourself to come back down. Yes. So we're opening our hips. That's it. Yes. As soon as you're pushing with your hands, you should feel like your belly button gets even lighter. Awesome. Let's do it again. Starting, separate those sits bones, lift that upper chest. Keep those sits bones separate. They have nothing to do with this game. Good. And maybe don't even quite straighten your arms. It'll be a great tricep workout. Yes. Feel that belly button come in. Feel that stretch through the front of your body. Awesome. We need to get that opened up. Wonderful. There we go. Ah, last one, you guys. Let yourself down without dumping your belly. And go. Head, chest, hands, lifting navel, separating our sits bones. Good. And then once you're up here, guys, let's go ahead and sit back. Sit back into a nice child's pose, stretch. If your knees don't like to bend this far, you can just roll on your side and kind of tuck up in a ball. But we're trying to let our sits bones get down toward our heels is the ultimate goal. Again, lifting your belly button, not really letting it drop. Cool. Awesome. And then let's come all the way forward and back down to your belly again. So this time we're going to do a thigh stretch. Now, for some of us here, it may be impossible to get a hold of your toes. So I will encourage you maybe to come back to this video or run and get a towel if you're watching the recording so that you can wrap the towel around your foot and hold on like that. Okay? Otherwise, we're putting our right hand down. You can put your forehead down, and we're going to grab a hold of our toes across the front of your toes with your left foot. Left hand, left foot. So that might be enough. This is not to show us how much you can flatten out your knee. This is to show us how you can keep your upper thigh and pubic bone planted. Yes, to get a thigh stretch. To get a thigh stretch. Now take your left foot, flex that ankle with your hands being a resistance factor. How many of you still have your sits bones separated? Your inner thighs kicking in. Relax your ankle. Now, try to straighten your leg into your hand. So you're pushing your foot into the hand. The pubic bone, the 6 o'clock, should get heavier, more planted, not less planted. The belly button is lifted. And then relax that leg. Now you might be able to get a better stretch. Good. Less of a stopping point and more of a thigh stretch. That's the front of the leg. Good. And then let go of your foot, but leave it there. Let go and leave your foot there. See if your knee can get a little bit lighter on the ground and pulse your foot toward your bottom. So we're making our hamstring try to get stronger in this really bent position. And then finally, flex your foot to the ceiling. And as if somebody's sitting on it, push that up. Keep your pubic bone planted, the belly button lifted, and try to drive your foot to the ceiling. That's tough. We really like to let go of our belly button here and use our back, but don't let it happen. Sweet. Okay, relax that. Let's do the other side, you guys. Okay, reach around. You're grabbing your toes or you're wrapping your towel around your foot. Good. The pubic bone is planted. So this side is much tighter for me. I'm having a hard time planting that pubic bone, but I'm trying. Lifting the navel. Now take that foot and flex it. Bend at the ankle into your hand. Good. Keep those inner thighs as connected as you can. The sits bones let go. Relax your foot. Now try to straighten your leg into your hand. You should be planting that pubic bone again, guys. Belly button's up. Oh, it's so easy to let go of the belly button when we do this game. And then relax, see if you get a better stretch. Cool. Let go of the leg. Keep the leg bent and pulse. Lift that knee slightly off the floor and pulse your foot to your bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5. Belly button's up. 7, 8. Flex your foot and drive the foot to the ceiling. 1, 2. You work on that belly button so this doesn't become too much of a back. We want to get to the hamstrings, the back of the thigh, right up where it meets the body. 7 and 8. I think we got it. And relax that leg down. Whew. Okay. So after having done that, place your hands by your ribs. Let's do that chest lift again. So the head lifts, the throat lifts, the chest, and you add the arms. And oh my goodness, it's much, much easier to come up this time. Nice, you guys. Yes. And then push all the way back into that child's pose again. While you're back here, you can walk your hands over to the right, keeping your hips centered, of course, so you're stretching your rib cage. Walk to the middle and over to the left. Good. Walk to the middle and come up on your knees. Very, very, very good. Feeling those hips nice and open. And from that, let's go ahead and just do a couple of leans, saying thank you to those stretched out thighs, much better. Try not to let a back bend happen. That's right. It's just a thigh stretch. Beautiful, you guys. And then purposely, we're gonna knee back bend. We're gonna stretch our arms up over our head. Good. We're going to keep our 6 o'clock, the furthest thing forward, not our belly button. Good adjustment. And then we're going to lift. Reach those hands behind your head and look backwards. Look up at your fingers and then come back up to a straight line. So the bend of our spine is up way where your chest is. Keep the 6 o'clock driving forward. Give that little knee back bend and come back up to a straight line. Beautiful. One more time. Oh my gosh, you guys. Lift and reach, and come up. And you can practice right foot together, left foot together. Good. Right foot together, left foot together. Try to relax your arms so they're not your balancers. This is a good clue how strong your hips are getting. It's a good exercise to see if you can do. And then once you've done the last one, you plant that foot and you make your way up to standing. Yeah. Holy Toledo, you guys. Everybody just got up with no hands and that was fantastic. And I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead. That was an amazing class. Give yourselves a hand. Say thank you, Springtime, for showing up. We'll go ahead and stop the recording there and say goodbye to everybody, and we'll see you again next week. All right. Good job.